Number 10, smart luggage that's not so smart anymore. Picture this, standing at security, ready to roll your shiny tech-stuffed carry-on through the scanner, and suddenly you're pulled aside. The bag? Confiscated. Why? That built-in battery pack you were excited about, the one powering GPS, USB ports, maybe even a digital lock, is no longer a travel perk. It's now a red flag. In 2026, if that battery isn't removable, the entire bag gets flagged as a potential fire hazard. It doesn't matter if the bag's powered off or even if the battery's never been used. Once it hits the scanner and TSA spots a lithium battery that can't be popped out instantly, it's classified as dangerous cargo. And here's the real kicker. Even if the battery is removed on the spot, the luggage itself has already crossed the line. It's tagged hazardous, and just like that, your $400 suitcase ends up in the confiscation pile. Even worse, this rule doesn't just apply to carry-ons. Checked baggage? Same rule. Can't check it, can't fly with it. Doesn't matter if it's turned off, disconnected, or duct taped shut. Airlines aren't rolling the dice on cabin fires anymore. There have been too many incidents. Cargo hold fires, emergency landings. Now they don't gamble. And travelers? They're learning the hard way. So what's the safe bet in 2026? Look for smart luggage with removable batteries, something you can slide out in 5 seconds flat. Better yet, take it out before you even get to the airport. It saves a conversation, a delay, and potentially your entire trip. Number 9. Vape juice that crosses the line. Vaping? Still legal in most places. Traveling with your vape pen? Also still legal? Sort of. The problem isn't the device, it's the juice. That tiny refillable cartridge? Harmless looking, but most travelers don't realize how much liquid it actually holds. The TSA's liquid rule, remember still firmly in place, caps carry-on liquids at 3.4 ounces or 100 milliliters. Exceed that, and you're flagged. And here's where it turns serious. Vape liquid often contains nicotine, a controlled substance in certain states. In some airports, that transforms your sleek-looking pen into a potential drug delivery device. It sounds dramatic, but it's already happening. Some airports have started treating vape liquid violations as more than just security issues. In parts of Texas, carrying too much vape juice has led to actual arrests. Not just fines, not warnings, arrests. Now toss international travel into the mix and the stakes jump even higher. Thailand, vaping is outright banned. Possession gets you arrested on arrival. Singapore, a $20,000 fine. Qatar, they call it drug smuggling. A British tourist found out the hard way when he was detained in Dubai for vape cartridges in his carry-on. He never even left the airport. He was just transiting and still spent 3 weeks detained. To avoid trouble, keep cartridges factory sealed and under the limit. Better yet, leave them behind entirely when traveling internationally. The lines between legal and illegal are now drawn not in logic but in law, and in some places they're razor thin. Number 8. Power banks that pack too much punch. Everyone loves a backup battery, especially when phones die faster than ever. But those jumbo-sized power banks designed to keep your laptop alive all day, they're becoming the unexpected villains of 2026 air travel. The rule is simple, but almost no one actually knows it. Portable chargers over 100 watt-hours aren't allowed in carry-on bags or checked luggage. That sleek black brick in your tech pouch? If it doesn't clearly list its watt-hour rating, it's getting flagged. And here's where it becomes a nightmare. Not all battery packs are labeled correctly. Many only list their capacity in milliamp hours, like 20,000 milliamp hours, which is just enough ambiguity to make TSA nervous. When that label's missing or unclear, it doesn't matter what the manufacturer's website says or how confident you are about the math. If TSA can't verify it right there on the spot, it's gone. A photographer lost his $800 power station because it didn't have a watt-hour label printed on the casing, even though he had proof of its specs on his phone. Want to keep your gear safe? Only travel with power banks that say under 100 watt-hours in plain bold letters. No guesswork, no math quiz at the checkpoint. Number 7. Toys that look like trouble. Bought your kid a foam sword at Comic-Con? That replica lightsaber? The toy hammer modeled after their favorite superhero? Sounds innocent until it goes through the scanner. In 2026, TSA is no longer giving the benefit of the doubt to obviously fake toy weapons. If it looks remotely like a weapon, it's treated like one. Bright colors, plastic build, even clear labeling doesn't help anymore. Why so strict? Incidents. Travelers have used realistic-looking toy weapons to intimidate others mid-flight, and in at least one case, replica blades caused panic during boarding. Now, security officers err on the side of caution. One family returning from a fan convention got detained for 4 hours over foam cosplay weapons. They missed their flight, lost money, and the father got placed on a TSA watch list. The reasoning? Attempting to bring a weapon through security, even if that weapon was made of Nerf. If a toy resembles a weapon, especially one that could cause a distraction or panic on board, it's no longer allowed in your carry-on. The only safe route? ship it home, or check it in a suitcase. And even then, be ready for a conversation. Number 6. Spreadable foods and the great peanut butter debate. Food from home used to be the traveler's best friend, cheaper, healthier, sometimes just a taste of home. But not all foods are created equal in the eyes of airport security. In 2026, TSA still treats anything spreadable as a liquid. That means peanut butter, hummus, yogurt, even cream cheese are now grouped with shampoo and body wash. Passengers have had homemade jam confiscated. 4 jars, handmade by a grandmother, tossed in the bin at security. Why? Because according to TSA's evolving logic, if it spreads, it's a liquid. Even solid-looking foods, things like salsa, dips, or custard-filled pastries, are being scrutinized. If they jiggle, pour, or smear, they're suspect. And it's not just the US. Australia bans most fruits. New Zealand restricts meat. The EU has dairy limitations. That vacuum-sealed ham from Italy? Still a violation. To stay out of trouble, keep spreadable foods under 3.4 ounces, and always double-check the import rules of your destination country. Because what looks like lunch to you might look like biological contraband to customs. Number 5. Self-defense gear that backfires. Packing pepper spray? That discreet tactical pen? Maybe a keychain Kubotan for emergencies? In 2026, those just-in-case items can land travelers in very real trouble. Pepper spray is now banned in all carry-on luggage, even keychain-sized, even legal in your home state. Some international destinations treat it as a controlled weapon, with punishments ranging from massive fines to actual prison time. A Canadian woman was jailed in the UAE for 6 weeks over a keychain pepper spray she forgot was in her purse. She was traveling alone, had no intention of using it, and had bought it legally. Still got detained, fined tens of thousands, and banned from the country. Tactical pens, those hardened writing tools that double as glass breakers or pressure point weapons, are now at the agent's discretion. One TSA officer might wave it through, another might escalate it to secondary screening. That kind of inconsistency means the risk isn't worth it. Leave self-defense tools at home unless absolutely essential and cleared ahead of time. One moment of better safe than sorry can lead to being detained, questioned, or banned from flying altogether. Number 4. Torch lighters and strike anywhere matches. Lighters are simple, right? Actually, not anymore. Disposable lighters, standard, cheap, gas station types, are allowed. 1 per passenger, carry-on only. But bring a torch lighter, the kind with a blue jet flame, and suddenly you're carrying a potential fire weapon. Torch lighters burn hotter, don't extinguish easily, and are designed for cigars, welding, or cooking. That puts them on the same danger list as explosives in airport protocol. Strike anywhere matches? Fully banned. Not in checked bags, not in carry-ons, not in your socks. A hiker got arrested for having them in a backpack on his way to a camping trip. Bought them legally. Still fined $2,000 and detained. And don't even think about putting any lighter in checked baggage. That's banned too. Bottom line, 1 standard disposable lighter in your pocket. Nothing more. Anything fancier? Buy it when you land. Number 3. Loose or damaged lithium batteries. Batteries are everywhere. Phones, tablets, headphones, power tools. But loose lithium batteries, the kind not secured inside a device, have become one of the biggest red flags at security. In 2026, these need to be either in their original packaging or have the terminals taped off. Tossing a few spare drone batteries into a pouch? Big mistake. Even worse? Damaged batteries. That old iPhone with the slightly bulging back? That's now considered a fire risk. TSA agents are trained to spot swelling, leaks, or cracks, and if they see it, they can confiscate the entire device, battery, phone, everything. There's no leniency here. A woman in Atlanta lost her phone because of a swollen battery she hadn't even noticed. Got handed a receipt and sent on her way. No refund, no compensation. Apple wouldn't replace it. And here's where it gets even trickier. Spare batteries over 100 watt-hours require pre-approval from the airline, submitted at least 72 hours in advance. That means providing battery specs, waiting for written approval, and printing proof before your flight. Miss that step, the batteries get confiscated and you might get fined. Number 2. CBD products. Legal here, illegal there. It's in gas stations, grocery stores, pet treats. CBD has become so common in the US that most travelers assume it's safe to pack. But in 2026, CBD is still walking a legal tightrope at airports. Federally, CBD derived from hemp and containing less than 0.3% THC is legal, but TSA doesn't test product contents. So when a TSA officer finds that bottle of CBD oil or gummy bear packet, they do the only thing they're allowed to do, call local police. And that's where the legal chaos begins. The same CBD gummy that's totally fine in California might trigger a misdemeanor in Texas. The same bottle that's prescribed in Colorado could get flagged as unlicensed in Georgia. The problem isn't the substance, it's the interpretation of the law, which changes from state to state and agent to agent. One grandmother flying out of Dallas got arrested for CBD oil she used for arthritis. It was legally prescribed, bought from a licensed dispensary. Didn't matter. The product didn't have the right paperwork under Texas law. She spent the night in jail and posted $5,000 bail. And internationally, it gets scarier. Japan arrests people for CBD. China treats it as a narcotic. Dubai considers it drug trafficking. A British DJ got 4 years in prison for CBD vape oil that was perfectly legal where he bought it, but illegal in the UAE. Even if it's just for sleep, pain, or anxiety, the safest choice is to leave all CBD at home. No exceptions, no gray area, not worth the risk. Number 1. Pocket knives and multi-tools that people forget they packed. And now, the item causing the most fines, detainments, and security delays at airports across the world, pocket knives, and not bombs, not drugs, not strange tech gadgets, just everyday, totally legal in most places pocket knives. Millions of travelers carry them daily, tucked into backpacks, clipped to jeans, buried in laptop bags. For some, it's a habit. For others, it's a tool. And for too many, it's an accident they don't realize until they hear, "Sir, step this way." TSA still maintains a zero-tolerance policy on blades. That means any knife, any length, any configuration, including those tiny scissors on a Swiss Army knife, is banned in carry-ons. One traveler lost a $600 heirloom knife passed down from a grandfather. Another was fined for a Leatherman tool with a 1.5-inch blade, despite the fact he never used the blade, just the pliers. TSA confiscates over 10,000 knives per week. That's 500,000 per year. Some are cheap throwaways, others are professional tools, expensive equipment, or sentimental items. None are returned, ever. And it's not just TSA doing the confiscating. The UK arrested an American tourist for having a locking blade in his checked luggage. The charge? Weapons possession. He was fined, banned from returning, and had to cancel his entire European trip. Moral of the story? Check every pocket, every pouch, every compartment. Run your hands through the corners of bags before packing. And if you must travel with a blade, check it in a locked case and declare it ahead of time. Because forgetting it doesn't make it legal, and being forgetful isn't a defense when you're standing in front of a TSA agent. Conclusion: the new reality of airport security. Travel in 2026 isn't just about getting from A to B. It's about navigating an invisible maze of changing rules, evolving policies, and zero forgiveness enforcement. It used to be simple. Now it's one mistake away from disaster. The grandmother with CBD oil, the photographer with unlabeled batteries, the Comic-Con dad with foam props. None of them were trying to break the law, but all of them ended up detained, fined, or worse. The rules are no longer intuitive. Something you use every day might be illegal in transit. Something you packed last year might now be banned for good. And something you didn't even know was in your bag could result in a lifetime flight ban or a criminal charge. That's why every traveler needs to take security personally, not casually, not carelessly, not just assuming things are fine. Always check. Does it have a battery? Does it spread? Could it resemble a weapon? Could someone mistake it for something else? Because that's all it takes. The bag check you do at home? That's your best chance to stay safe. 5 minutes now saves 5 hours, or 5 months later. If this guide saved you from a fine, a delay, or a nightmare at airport security, do one thing right now. Tap that like button. Subscribe to the channel for more no-nonsense, real-world travel advice, and drop a comment below. Which one of these items surprised you most? Or better yet, what's the weirdest thing you've ever accidentally packed? Safe travels out there, and hey, double check those pockets.